not have. Now, Dan Hurley, he said that the Lakers did make a compelling case for the job. I will say something very quickly, but I will say it passionately. I think it's a bad look for LeBron James that Dan Hurley turned down the job.
Why?
The reason being is the reason you get into coaching, the reason you get into doing really anything in life is to be able to do it at the highest level and work with people at the highest level. In my mind, that's the reason you do it. There was really no greater accomplishment of mine than when Oprah Winfrey called and said, hey, I want to partner with you to write books. I want to partner with you to produce shows. I was like, wait a second. I've made it to the point where this self-made black woman billionaire who has one of the greatest shows of all time wants to work with me?
Yeah.
That's it. That's what you do it for in sports. Working with the greats, that's what you do it for. Shady playing in Pro Bowls and All-Pros. James playing in Pro Bowls and All-Pros. Joy working her way up this industry to an illustrious point. That's what you do it for.
Yeah.
So at the point in which Dan Hurley, who was a high school coach just 11 years ago, not a long time, who was coaching, I believe, in maybe Rhode Island or some more enigmatic school, if you will, just 8 years ago. Now you have the opportunity to coach the Los Angeles Lakers, where Phil Jackson, where Pat Riley have reigned, where Shaquille O'Neal, where Kobe Bryant, where Magic Johnson, where Kareem Abdul-Jabbar have reigned, where LeBron James currently reigns, and you said no? What does that say about how LeBron James is viewed? What does that say about how the Los Angeles Lakers are viewed? You coach to get an opportunity like this, unless this opportunity is not as glowing as I believe it to be. So to me, terrible look for the Lakers, terrible look for LeBron James. How in the world is LeBron James getting rejected by a college coach? A college coach. Like, it almost hurts me. It almost hurts my heart as a LeBron James fan, Joy Taylor. So I just don't think it's a great look for LeBron. It's not a great look for the Lakers. But what do you believe the Hurley decision says?
I don't think it has anything to do with LeBron. I hear you, but there are legendary college coaches. Nick Saban coached in the NFL. We don't talk about his time in the NFL.
True. But he did. But he went.
Yeah.
You feel me?
But what did he do?
But
Nothing.
true. But remember, he won a natty, though, and then he went, Joy.
Yeah, but it doesn't damage his reputation that he wasn't a good NFL coach, because he is one of, if not the greatest college football coach to ever do it, right? It doesn't mean anything. So technically, he went to the highest level and failed, right? By standards that we have for all NFL coaches, he was not a successful NFL coach. But he is the most successful college coach. Hurley has an opportunity to do something that hasn't been done since John Wooden, who we hold in a very different category when we're talking about the greatest coaches of all time. Yes, you can go to the NBA and be a good coach from college. You could be a failure, but you are a great college coach. I don't think that he was looking at this opportunity, unless he truly wanted to go to the NBA, as a bad opportunity. He weighed all of his options and said, I'm in position with an organization, a program that I have built, that is run my way, that I have control over, and I know how good we are. So I could walk away at the top and transition to the NBA, have way less power and control than I do in college, way less say over personnel, way less say over system. And if I don't have the success that they expect me to have, which for the Lakers is what? Frank Vogel won a championship. He is not the last coach that they've had. They fired him and hired another coach that went back to the Western Conference Finals and then went back to the playoffs, and they fired him. It's a different, this is why I always insist on this. College is a different sport than professional. It is structured differently. Pay is differently. The longevity is differently. The influence for how you can hire your staff is different. Everything is different. Are they both playing basketball? Sure. But the structure of the sport brings a whole different world. So I don't think it says anything about LeBron. I think it says a bit about the Lakers because of the consistency that they have with coaches. If they had just come off of a coach that they let go after 10, 12 years, maybe that would be different. But the NBA cycle of coaches, I think for a lot of people, it may be easier to just stay in college. Not easier, but if you are a great college coach, you're transitioning to a different sport with an entire different level of responsibility.
But isn't all athletes up here at this desk, and if y'all are watching the show, y'all are a fan of sports, isn't the point for me in doing anything athletically to do it at the highest level? You play in middle school to play in high school. You play in high school to play in college. You play in college to play in the pros. He didn't stop coaching in high school. He could have been the greatest high school coach, I'm sure. I think he had an undefeated season. But he decided to go to, I think, Andy, was it Rhode Island that Dan Hurley went to? He went to some, I believe it was Rhode Island. Could have stayed in Rhode Island. But eventually goes to another school that we don't really know the name of because we don't talk about. And then instead of going staying there, he went to UConn. He went to Wagner. I don't even know where Wagner is, with all due respect to graduated from there. Wagner. Then he went to UConn because the point is to keep going and keep going and keep growing and keep growing. The next step is the NBA. And the highest step is the Lakers or the Boston Celtics when you talk about chips. And you said no?
Yeah.
Like, I can't even wrap my head around it.
Wagner's green and white, too. Not bad colors. Wagner, green and white. I don't think it says anything about LeBron. Yeah. It's more about Dan, right? And what he means to the University of UConn, right? Mm-hmm. If you look at his background, he comes from a basketball coaching family, right? They're into that basketball. His dad was like that. Grandpa was like that. And he did good in high school. Then he moved on to college, right? Then he got to UConn. So he's doing everything he wants to do. Mm-hmm. If you go in there and you get a three-peat, you know how big that is? You talked about Wooden, right? He's the last one to do that, correct?
Yeah.
So now, if he did it, now I'm doing it. That you're setting a crazy legacy. Yeah. And then who to say he's not going to the NBA eventually? Mm-hmm. I just feel like LeBron James is a great player and is one of the best players we've ever seen. But that ain't his Super Bowl. That ain't his national championship, right? So I think the stuff he's doing, he's going back to UConn, who I think they're going to three-peat again. He's going to get some more recruits from the stuff he just did. When you show a team, hey, I don't care about those $70 million. I don't care about playing or coaching for the Lakers. I'm going to coach y'all. He's going to get more recruits for that. And the last thing is, if he wins a three-peat, then who knows? Maybe the year after that or a year after that, he might come to the Lakers or come to the NBA. I like everything he's doing. I got a lot of respect
Shady,
for him.
what do you always say about Shady says this all the time off camera. If there's ever an argument, and I'm arguing with LeSean McCoy, you always say...
Yeah, everybody's in college.
Everybody's good in college. Now, Shady, an all-time great NFL player, all-decade running back. I don't say... No, you do, actually. I'll say it. Correct me if I'm wrong. You look down on college players. Like, you're like...
Yeah, I mean, like... Because they're all good, though. I mean, some of our Heisman winners is like regular now. You know what I'm saying? So they're all good.
When you're talking to an elite professional, he literally looks down on college players. So I'm with you, Joy. I think Saban is the greatest college coach of all time. I put Saban and Bear Bryant in conversations. But you got guys that are professionals at the highest level like, yeah, but it's college. Like, it don't matter. It's college. Yeah. That's where I'm like, even if Hurley does this, which would be an incredible accomplishment, would. There's some professional.
But that's playing, not coaching. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't think you feel like a college coach is like that. That's a different thing.
Yeah. And last thing, he still can get there, though. He don't have to go to the Lakers today to say he's not trying to chase his dreams. No, I'm going to go and win another championship, three-peat, and then I'll go to the NBA.
Yeah, but even if he doesn't, though, like, when you talk about Nick Saban, you don't blink an eye about how great he is.
Nope, not in college, I don't.
But not only that, though, number one, the Lakers weren't serious. I blame this all on the Lakers. The Lakers weren't serious. And the reason why I know that is because you offered the man $70 million. It's a college out there offering more than $70 million. So you walking in here and you offer me $7 million, that wouldn't even put me in the top 5 in the NBA. And I'm coming off a national championship. Number two, right? It's an interview process, right? A lot of people think the organization is interviewing you like it or not. I'm coming from a place in UConn where I run this thing how I want to run it. Yeah. I run the offense I want to run. I bring the players in I want to bring in. Everybody around here believes in my system because I'm a winner, and I know how to do this. Now I'm coming to the Lakers, and you might be telling me things got to go like this? No. For this amount of money? No. Even if I got arguably the best player in the world, no. I've seen coaches win championship, get gone. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna say whose fault that was. I seen coaches go to the playoffs back-to-back years, Western Conference, get gone, right? So what does that mean for me? So for me, it's all about the right situation. He's in a great situation right now. Why am I gonna leave a situation that's not as great and I don't have as much power or control to be able to kind of run this the way I want to run it? You know what? I'm going to stay in college because I don't think y'all that serious as an organization on what you guys are telling me right now in this interview process. I'm going to stay in college, do my best to win another one, and people will be knocking down my door to have another opportunity to coach in the NBA.
But I agree with Shady, though. I think the biggest part of this is you're in a position to win a third straight national championship. The NBA will always be there. And for someone like him, if he wants to make the jump, all his agent has to do is pick up the phone because there's going to be spots available for him to go. It might not be the Lakers, but somebody's going to fire their coach and would love to hire him. But you will not always be in the position to go to win a third straight national championship, which will put you in a different realm when you're talking about a legacy career in college basketball. So I think that definitely played a role because even if he stayed, like, you're not always going to be lined up for this opportunity.
Yeah. Let me ask y'all this, though, and it's quick, obviously. What about the LeBron James of it all? For me, like, when he was at Wagner 9 years ago, to envision being able to coach
he ain't anymore.
LeBron.
He ain't. Now he's the best coach in college basketball, coming off of 2 straight national championships, having an opportunity to win a third and be mentioned with names like John Wooden. He ain't at Wagner no more. I'm big dog now.
And another thing is with him is if you really watch his growth, right? People forget that UConn was bad when he was there too, though. They were bad. And he's great at growing and developing his players, right? So now, like, he's one of the top coaches that always don't get all Americans. Now they started rolling there because they want to be part of it. But if you watch his last team, I think his center was a top prospect. He's going to the draft. But a lot of his guards, them dudes that he developed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, coming to the Lakers is like, their older squad, LeBron's with 40?
Yeah.
Development, and give me the ball. Right?
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.